welcome to Malts of Distinction. My name is Steven Zalestrom, the brand ambassador for Beam Suntory, and today you are going to be joining me on a fantastic journey through three of Scotland's most prestigious single malt whiskies. We're going to be covering 2 regions and 6 expressions, all tied together in a perfect bouquet set just for your whiskey cabinet. We begin our journey on the cold south coast of Islay with Lefroy. Really smoky and iodine rich, this has to be one of Scotland's most characterful drams. Lefroy are known for their medicinal malts, and the classic 10-year-old is no exception. Its tasting notes are seaweed laid with a hint of vanilla ice cream. This big oaky smell muscles its way into the fore as your tongue holds this whiskey. An upsurge of spices develop, namely cardamom, black pepper and chili. The finishes big and drying as the savory tarry notes build up with an iodine complexity. I follow the age-old adage, if it's peat, drink it neat. So moving on to the subsequent expression, the Lefroy quarter cask is a beautiful step. Aged for around 5 years before being finished in a quarter cask for several months, the size of the cask is quite small, thus does not require long maturation. This remains a truly great achievement from Lefroy. The tasting note is a big rush of sweetness. In fact, it's an explosion of sweetness with fiery chili heat, mixed with sweet cereals and a touch of cola syrup. The finish is medium length, becomes fruity with custard and cigar smoke. I'd still follow the same old adage, if it's peat, drink it neat. Lefroy, fantastic. Let's move a little bit north onto Bowmore. The heart of the Bowmore range, 12-year, exhibits some beautiful coastal notes with a great peat. It is the balance that the floral element presents that make this a great entry bottling for Bowmore. The tasting note is lovely and rounded, honeyed even, initially. Vanilla, perfume, smoke and coastal elements start to develop into a dark peat, cherry blossom and oily sweetness. The finish is smoky and long with sea spray, dry grass and a touch of ash and citrus. I'd have this 2 tots on the rock in a tumbler. We take a slight detour to Highland Park, the northernmost distillery in the world, located on the Orkney Islands off the northeastern coast of Scotland, where the Atlantic Ocean meets the North Sea. The Highland Park 12-year-old nose is fresh, clean and very aromatic. Floral notes abound with senses of a light grassiness, notes of creamy manuka honey and a touch of juicy citrus with cream and a well-balanced sweetness. The palate is rather full with a pleasant depth. Lurking somewhere in the substratum is a grilled orange. Notes of granary toast and green tea with jasmine and a touch of sweetness. The finish is quite long with peppery spice and wood shavings. The Highland Park 12-year-old boasts individuality and complexity, thanks in part to the use of Orcadian peat in the distillery floor maltings and the employment of ex-sherry cask for maturation. Because of this, I go with the same old adage, if it's peat, drink it neat. Just a chip and a putt away, we have the beautiful Glaswegian distillery of Auchentoshan, located in the lowlands. A more recent release from the Glaswegian distillery, this is one of the last remaining triple distilled Scotch whiskies. Beginning in 1823, this unpeated single malt has been a staple in many a whiskey cabinet. Its tasting note is oaky with a sweet palate and barley sugar, a little bit of passion fruit and vanilla custard too, perhaps some citrus jam in there. Its finish is a lengthy dry and oak with barley sweetness and cocoa powder. I'd have this 2 tots on the rocks or built in a mug with honey, lemon and topped with an ale of choice. So you've tasted the Auchentoshan 12-year. The next logical step for you is to take a closer look at the 3-wood. Auchentoshan 3-wood, a lowland single malt matured in 3 different casks, namely the Pedro Jimenez sherry cask, bourbon cask and Oloroso sherry. The tasting note is rich liqueur cherries and a dark chocolate, ripe dark forest fruits like a black forest gatto. The finish is superb, led by thick dark treacle and toffee notes with a chewy wooded undertone. Serving suggestion, 2 tots in a tumbler. And remember everybody, with these malts of distinction, it's not about how you drink them, it's about who you drink them with. Enjoy.